Here we are. Only certain people will grasp what this week is really about. Most will look back at this week and wonder how they didn't see it coming. The third week of January often feels ordinary, a filler week in the year's script where nothing major seems to happen. But what if I told you that this is exactly where the magic hides? Beneath the surface, subtle cosmic alignments are creating ripples, waiting for those who are tuned in to notice. Right now, as you watch this, subtle forces are shifting around you, setting the stage for what could be a pivotal turning point in your life. The third week of January often flies under the radar, dismissed as just another week. But those paying attention know better, because if you're not, this week's hidden messages might just pass you by. The energy of 2024 isn't done with us yet. You may think you've left last year behind, but have you truly? The cosmos suggests otherwise. Unfinished lessons, unresolved feelings, they're like faint echoes lingering in the background of this week. The New Year energy felt fresh, bold, maybe even a little chaotic. But now as we settle into January, you might feel a strange pull, like the shadow of last year still hanging in the air. It's subtle but undeniable. What's this shadow trying to tell you? And will you confront it or let it quietly dictate your week ahead? The universe rarely shouts. Most of its secrets are spoken in whispers. This week is quiet, too quiet, you might think. But have you noticed that it's in the stillness that the most profound messages come through? When the world feels like it's on pause, the subtle frequencies of the universe start to hum. Dreams this week might feel more vivid, pulling you into places that seem both familiar and foreign. Those fleeting images could be your subconscious bridging the gap between you and the cosmos. Gut feelings, those moments where something just feels right or off, are likely to be more intense. What if they're not random? What if they're a direct response to the celestial energy subtly influencing you? Thoughts that pop into your mind seemingly out of nowhere. They're not as random as you think. That sudden idea, that nagging memory, that pull toward a decision you've been avoiding, they might be the universe's way of nudging you toward alignment. This is the week to stop asking for signs and start noticing them. Whether it's a bird crossing your path, a phrase that keeps repeating, or just a sense of knowing, the universe is communicating. Tonight, the sky becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner battle and your next step. Tonight, the moon and Mars will rise together in the evening sky, an elegant dance of intuition and action. The moon, the keeper of secrets and emotions, meets Mars, the fiery planet of ambition and assertiveness. This rare moment is more than an astronomical alignment. It's a cosmic metaphor. The moon also reaches aphelion today, its farthest distance from the sun. Feeling distant, detached, or even lost is natural under this influence. But consider this, even at its farthest point, the moon remains tethered to its orbit, unwavering in its path. This is a reminder that no matter how far you feel from your goals, your potential, or even yourself, there's still power in your journey. The moon whispers of introspection. Mars demands boldness. Together, they call for balance. What are you holding back from doing? Where have you let doubt replace confidence? Tonight's alignment is a call to blend the quiet wisdom of your intuition with the fiery determination to act. Look up tonight. Observe the moon and Mars as they ascend. Their light might be faint, but their message is clear. It's time to connect what you feel with what you do. The third step is never random. It's the moment you start to see the bigger picture. The third week of January, it might feel like a strange in-between, a place where the New Year's spark begins to fizzle out, yet the year's rhythm hasn't fully set in. But let's challenge that notion, because thirds have always carried significance. Think about it. The third act of a story is where everything comes together, where clarity emerges, and the final push begins. The same applies to this week. It's a cosmic bridge connecting the fresh, ambitious energy of the new year to the reality of how you'll navigate the rest of 2025. What have you built so far this year, and what needs a stronger foundation? Take a moment, reflect. Have your January intentions remained solid, or have they started to drift? This week is the perfect time to pause and realign. The energy right now isn't about massive leaps. It's about those small intentional adjustments that ensure you're headed in the right direction. Transitions can feel unimportant, even boring, but this week reminds us that they are where the most profound shifts often begin. So don't underestimate the power of this moment. Step back, reassess, and remember, the year isn't written yet. It's waiting for your next move. When Mars opposes the sun, it doesn't just illuminate the sky, it reveals the battles you must face within. On January 16th, Mars reaches opposition. In simple terms, it's when Mars and the Sun are on opposite sides of the Earth, making the red planet brighter and more prominent than usual. But the significance goes deeper than astronomy. It's about energy, confrontation, and courage. Mars, the warrior planet, represents action, drive, and sometimes conflict. At opposition, this energy is amplified, pushing us to confront what we've avoided. It's the ultimate test. Are you willing to face your fears and take decisive action, or will you let hesitation keep you stuck in the same place? Mars at opposition doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It asks you to act anyway. This heightened energy can manifest in different ways. For some, it might feel like a sudden sense of urgency, a fire under your feet to move forward. For others, it might bring tension, a confrontation you've been dreading, or a decision you can't delay any longer. But here's the key. This isn't chaotic energy. It's purposeful. It's a reminder that the hardest battles often lead to the most profound growth. If you've been sitting on the edge of a decision, this is the week to leap. If you've been holding back your voice, this is the week to speak up. The sky is mirroring your inner conflict this week, and Mars is your guide. Harness its energy wisely. It's not about fighting for the sake of fighting. It's about standing firm in your truth and moving forward with purpose. When love and discipline collide, what emerges is not chaos, but clarity. On January 18th, Venus and Saturn will draw so close in the evening sky that they'll appear almost as one. But don't let their serene appearance fool you. This is no gentle union. This is the cosmos reminding us of the eternal tug of war between indulgence and restraint, emotion and logic, freedom and responsibility. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, meets Saturn, the planet of discipline, structure, and boundaries. Together, they ask an important question. Where are you out of balance? Are your relationships thriving, or are they weighed down by unspoken expectations and unresolved tension? Have your passions been given free rein, or are they caged by fear and self-imposed limits? This alignment isn't here to punish, it's here to clarify. True harmony comes not from avoiding conflict, but from facing it with honesty. This celestial dance invites you to evaluate your priorities. Are you chasing love and joy without considering the responsibilities that come with them? Or are you so bound by duty that you've forgotten to enjoy the beauty of life? Now is the time to strike a balance, to blend the passion of Venus with the wisdom of Saturn. Take a moment on the 18th to reflect, meditate, journal, and look inward. The answers you find will likely reveal more than you expect. The universe whispers in patterns. From the first day of January until now, every moment has carried meaning, even if it's been subtle. At first glance, the events of this month may feel like scattered fragments, a stray thought, a missed opportunity, or a small victory. But when you step back, those fragments begin to form a mosaic, a hidden pattern that is anything but random. Have you noticed recurring themes in your life this month? Maybe a lesson you thought you'd already mastered has resurfaced. Perhaps someone from your past reappeared, or a persistent idea kept nudging at the edges of your awareness. These aren't coincidences. They're cosmic breadcrumbs guiding you toward a greater. Understanding the universe doesn't shout at secrets. It invites you to discover them. Think about the rhythm of January so far. Has it been fast-paced, with constant challenges demanding your attention? Or has it felt slow and introspective, urging you to pause and reflect? Both rhythms have their purpose, and both contribute to the story being written. Now consider the symbolism of this third week. The thirds in any sequence often represent a moment of clarity, a turning point where the fog lifts and the path ahead becomes visible. This isn't a random week, it's a bridge between the intentions you set at the start of the year and the action you'll take to manifest them. Sometimes the most profound insights come not from what's new, but from what's repeated. Take a moment to think back. Was there a decision you made earlier this month that seemed insignificant at the time, but now feels pivotal? Was there a fleeting conversation or interaction that left a deeper impression than you expected? These moments are part of a larger pattern. They're not separate from the grand design. They are the design, and it's not just about looking backward. It's about looking forward too. The events of this week, no matter how small, are setting the tone for what's to come. Pay attention to your dreams, your intuition, and even the random thoughts that drift into your mind. The answers you're seeking might already be there, hidden in plain sight. In the quiet details, the universe leaves its loudest messages. Don't let the ordinary moments pass you by. Journal your thoughts, reflect on the signs, and speak your intentions aloud. Because when you start to notice the patterns, you align yourself with the flow of the universe. And that's when the magic happens. This week may seem quiet, but it's anything but ordinary. You might be tempted to think of the third week of January as a lull, a forgettable bridge between the start of the year and whatever lies ahead. But that's where the trap lies. The most profound transformations don't always announce themselves with fireworks or dramatic shifts. Often they unfold quietly, almost imperceptibly, until their full impact is impossible to ignore. From Mars's commanding opposition to the delicate balance of Venus and Saturn's approach, the celestial stage is rich with symbolism. But this isn't just about the stars. It's about what's happening within you. The alignment of cosmic forces mirrors the subtle movements in your life. Those fleeting moments of clarity, the emotions bubbling beneath the surface, and the quiet thoughts that refuse to leave you. The universe doesn't need to shout to make a point. Sometimes its whispers are loud enough to change everything. Think about your decisions this week. Are you coasting, assuming that the real opportunities or challenges are still on the horizon? Or are you tuned in, sensing the potential hidden in what seems like an ordinary moment? The energy swirling around this week commands awareness. It calls for you to look deeper, beyond the surface distractions, and recognize the undercurrents guiding your path. Miss the signs and you may miss your moment. Recognize them and you align with your purpose. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.